It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy, D-Mac, he's back, everybody. What's up, D-Mac?
I'm pissed, Neil. Look at that garbage outside. Ruining a pretty good golf day today. It's going to crush my league, but I guess going to be really sunny skies for the next, 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
So I'll be all right.
A
do some rain.
little bit of pain for long-term gain. I believe that is the saying. Right?
No gain.
That's what we say. KG in the building. KG, what's really good?
D-Mac yelling Big D, man. I always get an enjoyment out of that.
Pops you every time.
Oh, yeah, every time, man. Shout out.
Spencer Raxter in the building.
Hello.
Hello. Is Chase here? Or is...
Chase
Yeah, he's
here.
here.
They're
He's
doing
just not in the Chase Lounge right now.
They're doing a social meeting in the back.
Are they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, all right then. We press on. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat on the YouTube channel, subscribe. You can jump into the Woodward Sports chat, get your ideologies and your thoughts and everything that we have going on. Got a lot of stuff to get to here today. Tigers will be back in action tonight, but we got a couple of newsworthy things in and around Woodward Sports. But number one, the NHL draft lottery.
Justin called it, too.
I swear to God, I
Justin
hate
called that shit.
I hate Batman so much.
Dude, were we the only team that lost position again? We went from 12 to 13.
Yeah,
18% or 8% chance that we would pick lower than 12.
than 12.
Well, dude, it is what it is.
And we get
man.
13.
It's
Crazy.
almost comical. So you're the 12th or 13th pick, but congrats. Hey, look at the. I mean, honestly, when people conspiracy theory and the fix is in, oh my God, the Islanders, you get number one pick. You don't have a GM right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're trying to facilitate it there.
I'm just happy that-
And don't worry, San Jose. You don't need that defenseman. You need that Michael Misha from Saginaw, the number 2 guy who's going to go because, the Islanders, they're already set on forwards, in their system. So they're going to go Faulkner with one.
Okay, and I was going to ask you guys
No,
because
it's
I'm
just-
not up on it. Was there I didn't hear it, so I'm guessing there
There's
was
a
not.
consensus
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
D, best forward, right?
Yeah.
So the kid up in Saginaw, Michael Misha, had 62 goals
Yeah.
this year or whatever like this.
He's ready
the
to
best
go.
forward. But if you look at the Islanders, they got in their system, they got this Noah Dobson that they just drafted so they can get this Faulkner and boom, Patrick Waz got his back end solidified.
He's ready to
for a
go,
while.
too.
And that Michael Misha going to San Jose playing with Macklin Celebrini and stuff like this, it just, I don't know.
It's just-
it makes
Well,
you,
we had no
it makes
shot
you
at one.
wonder.
No.
But
Mathematically
you
not.
had a shot to what? Move up to 2?
Yep.
2, yeah.
But the fact that you moved down to 3,
13.
Thank God
it's
Boston
just
didn't get
take
one
it
or
while
2.
you can.
Thank
it?
God Boston
13.
and Chicago didn't get 1 or 2. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I knew the Red Wings were going to, but I just didn't want it to be Boston or Chicago to get 1 or 2. So shout out to the Islanders. Shout out to the Sharks.
But it just adds to the fact of Detroit versus everybody, though, because when you parlay that with JB Bickerstaff getting looked over for Coach of the Year,
Which we'll get into,
I'm
yeah.
pissed off. That's some bullshit. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
What are you talking about, Kenny? You mean when you turn around a team by 3?
3 times.
Right. Never done it. Never happened.
That guy 62. Got to trade up, man. The NHL draft lottery is damn near as corrupt as the NBA draft, in my opinion. So we got to
only-
trade up in the draft.
the
No,
only
people
players
now or
worth trading up for are 1 or 2, and you're not
Guys.
getting those picks.
Guys, again, unless you get those top guys that maybe they're ready to play in the league. But again, it's a development league. It's the same thing you guys are all bitching about is waiting for all these draft picks coming. So
the guy in
it's a
Saginaw,
process.
the guy in Saginaw, and I apologize because I didn't stay up on the
Michael
OHL
Misha.
like I typically do. I didn't. So he is an older OHL guy, but when you're in the OHL, you're still 19.
Yeah.
You're not
I got drafted-
walking. You're not walking in the door. Connor Bedard, how did he like it when he walked in the door?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's difficult.
Well, yeah, it is, but it gives you time. You're still 19 years old.
Well, we don't have to wait. We don't have time to wait, D-Mac. I was told that. We don't
No,
have time to wait.
Well, we need maturation from our younger guys.
But anyway, though.
Schaefer and Misa will be ready to go next year, and they're going to probably both be pretty good. So I'm glad that Boston didn't get one, because then if you get Misa in Boston, you're keeping Pasta, and you're just going to keep it going. Now they might actually trade Pasta, so that's good.
Okay, so it was kind of, I just kind of chuckled when I saw that because I knew that they had like a 92% chance or whatever to stay where they were, and only an 8% chance to fall back. I knew the highest they could get to was 2. I wasn't expecting that, so I just kind of chuckled and moved on. I'm not going to sit here and like be broken up about it.
No, the Red Wings didn't have a chance. Like I said, I'm just glad we're not seeing a pairing of Pasta with Misa or Bedard with Misa going forward. So, fuck Chicago, fuck Boston.
Yeah, and I hope they have fun going to play for the Islanders in their little Lego-based arena.
Congratulations, Jack Harrington.
Yep.
There you go.
Shout out Jack Harrington.
Shout out Jack Harrington. Our OG, he's an original.
Shout out OHL, though. Look at that. I just pulled up a mock draft, man.
I love
Got the Erie Otters representing. That's where Schaefer was from, where Connor McDavid played.
Yep.
Alex DeBrincat. And by the way, McDavid and DeBrincat were teammates for a year.
Oh, wow.
At Erie. I think they lost like 6 games the whole year.
Damn.
So that was pretty sick.
Wonder what the line scoring was for that line.
Oh, it was
insane.
You can look it up, dude. It was Connor McDavid had like 4 points a game. It felt like
Jesus.
He was. I mean, I'm probably overstating that.
Yeah.
Right now, the Athletic, Detroit Red Wings at 13. Because somebody asked D-Mac, who do you see the Red Wings picking at 13? Just to give you a comp here, the Athletic's mock draft is Detroit Red Wings select Victor Eklund, a right winger from the Sweden second team.
Sounds about right.
Or second division, excuse me.
It's not Brad.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, I think the Red Wings would add a forward with a bit more size here, but Eklund's talent's just too much to pass up, with his speed and shot bringing potentially difference-making elements to a system that needs more pop. Physical left-handed defenseman Kashawn Atchison was also a strong consideration here, but ultimately Eklund's motor offensive ability make him the pick. So that's the Athletics' take on it, but they also said that Brad Holmes had an F in his draft.
Since we're
I didn't say it. They said it.
That is true.
Since we're talking hockey here, is it not like, because we don't really talk too much of like the NHL playoffs now that the Wings are out and stuff like this, but is it just not electric every season? There's something, from Mikko Rantanen, sticking it to Colorado and having 2 4-point periods in Game 6 and Game 7 and just putting them on their back saying, no, not today, boys, and then the Winnipeg St. Louis.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was amazing.
Right? Unbelievable. My buddy Dink, shout out Darren Reynolds, I went to school with.
Yeah.
I still keep contact. He was there. He was sending me videos from the game, and that was as electric as it got. So you never know, storylines with those guys. Like the Dallas, and then they're facing off with each other, but they got to be feeling. So the playoffs, the NHL playoffs never, ever lets down.
Yeah.
No matter what. Every year, Neil.
Steve in the chat. Neil will be wearing his Javi Baez City Connect jersey today. They don't have a new one this year, right?
No,
I don't think they do.
No, it's the same one.
It's weird how they stagger those rollouts where 5 teams have one.
Remember, they were undefeated wearing that last year.
They
so
were.
I think they were let's keep that one around a little bit. But real quick, D-Mac, this was a video I saw from on Twitter. It was about Winnipeg Beer League team.
Oh, I saw that.
Watch it, yeah. Would you be able to party with the rest
Getting away your beer.
Right there.
That's great.
Go give them some love too.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that's what he was doing, though. I don't know. But yeah, jump into that chat. All right, DNC ENT, Neil, we doing the thing. Shout out Caesar Sportsbook, the only book to not have Hutch favored to win Comeback Player of the Year. They have Dak plus 275.
Get it together, Caesars. We rock with you. Get it together.
DNC ENT, I'm currently 4-0 when Neil stamps the plays. 5-0 loading.
Yeah, I heard it was plus 300 on Hutch comeback player on other sites, by the way. So.
Is that what it was? All right. In the super chat, by the way, if you want to skip the line, you can go ahead and do that. We'll cut in for those Junior X battle in the super chat. I know this was on yesterday's show with draft grades back to 2012. Seahawks got a draft grade of an F. They drafted Bruce Irving, Bobby Wagner, and Russell Wilson. So people need to relax on the draft class. No, Junior, we discussed that yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, it's pure insanity. And then you have to take in situations into account.
Exactly.
And I saw people, we put a post on social media about it, and I saw people crying like, I don't know that he got any starters in this draft. There are no starting spots left.
Exactly.
Like, come on, guys. Everybody just tune it down a little bit. We'll break down the NHL draft mock draft coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. KG, you ready for this?
Oh, yeah, big facts. You're going to lose viewers, though. Best believe you're about to lose some viewers.
What are you talking about, man? But yeah, Pete Smith also in the super chat. Toronto area travel agents baffled by Cancun flights 2 weeks too late. There's an adjustment period, Pete, I'm sure. There will be a run of Cancun bookings coming up soon. As a matter of fact, they're out of Toronto, so keep an eye on that also. I thought they were going to melt down.
I did too. That was really close.
Tough situation. You lose your goalie, right?
Yeah.
You got to step in. But, yeah, you know what? Like I told you after the first game against Ottawa, is there something different? I see, like, there's something that they're holding the resilience because it doesn't matter how you do it. You get it done. It's seeing the bounce back. I thought Florida would rat it up a little bit more, right? So expect that for game 2.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Tommy K, let's talk Tigers. We're going to get there, Tommy, coming up in a couple of segments, as a matter of fact. They'll be in Colorado tonight to take on the Rockies. All right, one other question for the people. And I did this kind of for my own research. I just put a poll after the Knicks beat the Pistons, and I was curious because I didn't know how to feel. I put a poll out there, and I said, hey, Pistons fans, who are you rooting for, the Knicks or the Celtics in the next round? Because I feel mentally uncomfortable ever siding with the Celtics.
That is fair.
Hate the Celtics.
I agree with you on that.
Hate the Celtics.
Big fact.
Hate the Celtics. But I wanted them to take the Knicks down.
I did too.
So come to find out, yesterday we were all getting our way. You know, the Celtics were down 20. Mm-hmm. The Knicks come back, and props to them. It was a great comeback. I mean, it was aided by the Celtics more than anything else.
Yeah.
What were they, 15 for 55 from 3 or whatever it was?
Crazy.
But that's the way they play.
Yeah.
And the next game, they'll probably make 32 of them. They'll be 32 for 58,
right.
and they'll beat the Knicks by 30. You know, that's the way it'll work. That's the way they play. But with that being said, we have a Woodward little text thread that we do. And we were all kind of making our, when something big happens, we kind of all chime in and get everybody's take on it. Once the Knicks won, we get the following text message from one Tom Mazaway. It's a Knicks logo with, quote, suck it. And Easy, who he and I don't see eye to eye all the time, said something that I thought was very, very relevant and said, quote, too soon, Maz. Maz, within a millisecond of that text coming, responds, nope. And then Spencer Raxter spoke for the group and said Maz never gets to root for the Pistons again.
248. No, Maz keep his Pistons right.
Revoked.
Right.
Is Spencer wrong? Because I say you're not. Real talk.
That's
I say you're
tough,
not. Now,
man.
look, we know where Maz is going to go. You can't tell me who to root for. He's done this many, many times. Because I ask him, I'm like, how can you root for the Islanders and the Devils? Well, don't tell me who to root for. Okay, I understand that.
He's different.
Listen, obviously there's grandfathered in stipulations to his fandom that we might not know about, but, being the New York guy and whatever, I just don't know when it comes into play. Right? Like, you guys just got caught off guard because obviously his New York Knicks fandom gets to come into play. Maybe being I mean, I don't know.
I can understand
the too soon.
They haven't.
Yeah. I can understand Maz being happy that the Knicks beat the Celtics, right? He's from, the New York area. He loves the Knicks. They're his team. But to send suck it to a group chat full of Pistons fans.
Yeah, that's
milliseconds
tough.
after
It's
Easy
tough
says
luck.
it's too soon.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well,
yeah.
which leads into the question: how committed to the Pistons beating the Knicks was Maz. That's all.
Darren McCarty for the win,
Hold on.
everybody.
That's all that tells me is that that was the gun was loaded.
Was he
little too
really that
early.
upset that the Knicks beat the Pistons? Was he really?
We don't know.
I'm
have to question it.
I'm gonna let the people. I have an opinion, but it's irrelevant. I know I've known Maz a long time, and that's me. That's Maz being Maz. But again, if you dig down deep into it, somebody asked me, "Do you think Maz was fully committed to the Pistons beating the Knicks?" And I would say I thought he was.
I'm not saying he's not.
I'm not
saying that he is.
New York bias is showing, man. They haven't won since Walt Clyde Frazier. So, I mean, I can't necessarily be mad at them. They were still wearing Chucks for the last time they won.
I got a question, boys. When you think a Knicks fan at Woodward Sports, don't you automatically... I go to Spencer, not Maz, because I thought Maz has turned more to a Detroit sports fan, right? We're like...
Well, we all thought that.
Spenny is true, too, but Spenny's the second team is the Knicks. And even last night, Spenny, you didn't say suck it.
No, I wanted them to lose.
I mean, you were happy.
That's crazy.
No.
I mean, you were happy last night after what had happened. You were devastated the Pistons lost to the Knicks.
No, I want Boston to win the series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like the Knicks piss me off now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess if I showed up a little bit more often, I'd know that.
I was a Knicks fan for basically just for Carmelo Anthony. I'm a Melo fan, so I
get it.
But the Knicks, I hate Karl Anthony Towns. He's one of my most hated players in the NBA. Jalen Brunson, I really hate after that series, but I respect him for how good he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Knicks. I want the Knicks to lose.
Okay, well that's good.
All right, in the super chat, Shane Daniel, Maz has been a fan of the Knicks since they had peach baskets, and KG wouldn't have been allowed to
Created
play.
by a Canadian.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Racism was heavy in that time.
Peach basket.
Really?
Hey, Neil, peach baskets created by a Canadian.
That is true.
Yep.
Burn in the super chat. Be kind. Maz is the last living Knicks fan who actually remembers them winning a championship.
No, for real.
That's aggressive. Damon Dice. Nick showed the Pistons how to close out a game. Can we stop with that shit, by the way?
Yeah.
Come on, can we stop with that?
He's a
They were
known Chicago
15
guy.
of 60 from 3. They didn't show the Pistons how to do anything. Hey, stand there and let the Celtics miss a 3.
Yeah.
Like, again,
It's not hard.
When the Celtics lose, I always talk about this with the Tigers. When the Tigers lose a game, it's going to be 4-1, and they're going to have 4 hits, and they're going to strike out 9 times. It's just the way they are. When the Celtics lose a game,
They're gonna miss 43.
they're going to miss 43.
Yeah, they're going to outshoot themselves.
That's what they do.
But when they own, watch the fuck out.
IT Hips, you can't say I'm a Detroit fan when they're winning and then jump back on his New York fandom when they lose or vice versa. That's garbage fandom. IT Hips, put him in the Hall of Fame. Yes.
We need answers.
Yeah.
Maz got an answer for this, man. He does.
That shit pissed me off.
Me too.
That's crazy. It's a little crazy on Maz's part.
Me too. And then
Like I said,
Maz.
you can root for the Knicks, you can be happy, but to send suck it to a group chat full of Pistons fans.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah,
and then he
tough.
responds, because you know me, I'm not going to let that go.
Yeah.
So I pipe up, and then he says, they've been my team since 1970, but not against the Pistons. Now, here's where it gets confusing.
Okay.
Same for the Tigers over Yankees, Mets. Wings over Isles, not Devils, though. So that's where I pause.
Not Devils, though.
Not Devils,
Uh-oh.
though.
Yeah, I've always known that.
Wings over Isles, but not Devils, though. And then he follows that up by saying, I'm a Detroiter, so take that. Take what?
Maz is acting up.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Dude, we need to have Maz come in early one day.
We need
put
to get
Maz
to the
on
bottom
trial
of this.
We might
in the
have to
massage
Well,
chair.
it
Yeah,
ain't
with
on
the
trial.
massage
It's just his fandom is there. Maybe that's how they did it back in the day. I mean, remember they only had
shit. Should we
like
do a spam
candlelight.
on E&E today?
They only had candlelight to go by.
So I responded to him. I said, that's a lot of stipulations. It's kind of hard to follow. And he said, not really. Detroit overall, I thought you were smarter than this. That's what he said to me.
Except
However,
New Jersey.
He's the one that said Wings over Isles, not Devils,
Well,
though.
but so Detroit, except he's got a caveat,
Detroit
except
over
when it comes to
everybody
the
but
New
Jersey.
Jersey Devils. But then
I
it
can't
confuses
follow
me.
this.
Is it everybody in New Jersey?
But then
Or
how do
just
you
them?
say Detroit overall?
Right.
He didn't say except the Devils on the follow-up. I can only go by what people say.
Yeah.
That's all I can go by.
You were told.
I was told Detroit overall, but yet I root for the Devils over the Red Wings. Anakin Skyogre.
Mortified and stupefied.
Anakin Skyogre, Maz, you traitor, in all caps.
It's not a good look, Maz. I love you, Mazzy. It's not a good look.
Okay, that's
I'm
all I
calling
wanted
for
to
it
know.
again. BDE Army, we're calling. It's been a while since we did this. Calling for the rollout in the E&E chat. Everybody spam eggplant emojis.
Uh-oh.
Spam eggplant emojis. All
This is
And he
important.
calls for the eggplant.
Yeah.
This is important,
They
everybody.
hijacked
This is eggplant time.
Yeah, hey, as Spenny just said, we haven't done this
Haven't done it in a while.
in a long time.
Yep.
We only do it for serious
A
itch.
specific situation.
This is
Yeah.
serious.
Yep.
We
Yeah,
need
it
a
is.
Big D Energy takeover of their chat.
Yep.
We need a complete takeover.
Need it.
Just, Maz, do you really love New Jersey more than Detroit?
Yeah.
If so, why don't you go back there?
And where were you during 9/11? No, I'm
Yeah,
talking-
where,
Constant eggplant emojis.
who were you
the
really
entire
rooting
show.
for in Game 6?
Yeah.
Right,
Maz?
right.
You'll know what it means.
Mike O, hey Neil, should we adopt Maz as a Detroiter?
Operation Eggplant. Hashtag Operation Eggplant, says Arf. There it is.
Execute it.
There you go. Woodward Sports Super Chat. Michael DeVries, I live in northern Indiana, and the fans here are Notre Dame football during football and IU during basketball. Drives me insane. We see that here at Woodward Sports with young Justin. He's a Michigan football fan that goes to Western, that switches to Western hockey. Hey, Justin, what's up? You want to say something?
I was
here.
just about to be so happy coming in here too, because I was saying on the morning show that I was in need of a good I was told by Neil. Like I was saying that, I said in chat. But yeah, I mean,
Well,
just
that's
how it is,
funny
man.
because I see you creating a meme with the fan police with my profile.
I mean, that
on.
was just too
Oh,
perfect.
so whose side you on here? But I figure you can relate. Michigan football, Western hockey. Go to school at Western.
Look,
You and Maz,
I
man.
took the opportunity
exposed
and ran with it. I mean,
Justin, that shirt's fire.
thank you. That fan police graphic I made was just.
That was funny.
I just had to do it. It was the perfect opportunity. It had nothing to do with me. So nice way to parachute in, parachute out. I guess I didn't.
No,
get to
that's the
parachute
way you
out.
operate. Yeah, I know. You're very good at it. You should get an Army Medal of Honor for the way you can parachute in and parachute out. IT Hips, Maz definitely needs to answer for this. Mike,
At least I'm not a criminal and root for teams in the same stratosphere of each other. The only sport that they're even relevant to each other in is hockey, and I choose the school I go to.
I know. Then you choose the school you go
Somebody
to. Okay.
said it. You're entitled. You got 2 natties.
Right.
I mean, they saw the
What a
Midjula
football-
video.
Well,
I
It's
am
easy to get
entitled.
natties when you root for every team,
Well,
right?
you know what? Whatever
Hey,
it takes.
back-to-back natties. Sounds good
I
to
mean,
me.
we'll have to. Do we have to get everybody's stipulations on their fandom? Because Jesus seems like he's following the Maz.
All right, John effing Lord, Operation Eggplant.
Yep,
So
it's time.
there it is.
Execute order eggplant.
All right, guys, listen up. In the chat for E&E, whatever point you make, just put the eggplant on
Slam
after it.
eggplants.
Spam them.
I want eggplants.
I'm a join in
covering
on
the
this.
screen. 1,000 eggplants behind every blade of grass.
Join in on this. This is my first eggplant operation.
There we
I'm
go.
excited.
There it is. So everybody get in there. Detroit Dabber 313. But I've lived here for 30 years with the little Maz head on there. Okay. Tommy K, Operation Eggplant is a go. Mike G, we love Maz. Let him be happy
We do love
with his.
Maz.
We love him.
I'm not saying I don't love the man.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite humans
We got
ever.
mad love for Matt.
Yeah.
I fucking love Maz.
But does he love you back? That is
true.
the
That
question.
is the question.
Or does he love Jersey?
Yeah.
He loves the Devils.
No, he
more.
loves Detroit except.
Except for New Jersey.
Except.
As long as you can follow his little.
So is Maz, because it's, you guys know what it's Detroit versus everybody.
Yes.
So is Maz a part of Detroit or a part of everybody?
Oh, shit.
The hard questions need to
hard
be
questions.
asked.
Sounds like a chat poll question,
Sounds like a
Benny,
chat
for the
poll.
people.
Yeah.
Is
Let
Maz
them tell
Detroit
us.
or
I don't know.
everybody?
Is Maz with a question mark
Detroit or everybody?
or everybody?
That's fucking hilarious.
Because it sounds like if he's in New Jersey, then he's everybody.
Yeah.
That's
It lines
A
up.
very
It
young
tracks.
Justin way to live your life.
Hey, Spenny, we got our first Lily Phillips in the
shit.
in the comment because
Oh,
it
yeah?
said more eggplants on E&E than for Lily.
yes.
I just thought that there it is, first Lily Phillips that I've seen ever in the chat. So there
It
you
tracks, man. It tracks.
go. It
The
tracks.
eggplants bring people out.
They
Operation Eggplant.
Operation
man.
We've done
Eggplant.
this successfully multiple times. It's been a while. We need full force of the BDE Army.
Woodward
Storm the gates of E&E.
MP
Eggplants in hand.
Just pull up to E&E with a Trojan horse, some eggplants. Like,
If you have a breath life left in your body,
all right.
swing that eggplant at anybody.
Pause. Dog, what the fuck?
Burning Devils and Knicks jerseys on the way.
Shit.
Woodward Sports chat thread MPWMU Devils equal neutral zone trap, thumbs down. Exactly, D-Mac. D-Mac gave me a look right there, man. Mad, that was probably appealing hockey to Maz. He probably loved it.
Kyle started.
I just thank them because if they didn't beat the shit out of us in '95, I wouldn't have 4.
It's fair.
That is fair.
Kyle Stark in the chat. Maz getting cooked in this poll. It's already like 90 to like 4.
It's 92.
Could be the biggest poll ever.
We have never had one bigger than 93 to 7.
Yeah.
I think that was, and I think we just did it to see. Like,
Yeah. It was like, do you like or do you need water?
Yeah, you need to drink water to stay alive. Yeah. Burn in the super chat. I saw someone going down their Tigers checklist since 40 games is basically crossed off, trying to say the Tigers' weakness is good pitching. No way. No, Burn, 100%. I agree with it. And we're going to get into the Tigers coming up in just a little bit. Soccer night in Detroit. Maz still believes that Alex Rodriguez has a concession stand in the New York Yankees stadium. All right, but yeah, that's it. Operation Eggplant, everybody. Everybody get into there and on E&E and just drop your eggplant.
That's
Right there.
Mushroom stamp the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot like how Javi Baez is doing it.
I know.
Facts.
Burn in the super chat. If the Tigers meet the Yankees in the playoffs, or heaven forbid the Mets in the World Series, you'll find out the truth. Well, he'll wait and see who wins,
Yeah. And then root.
and then root.
I wonder what he would root for during that.
The fact that
he'd
we
be
have
on
to
the stand.
wonder.
Yeah.
The fact that we have to wonder
No,
about
he'll
this.
tell you Detroit, but
Right.
then we'll think about what is it like basketball?
Yeah.
The fact that we have to wonder is already all the truth you need.
Benedict Maz.
Benedict Maz.
Last year he did ask me about the Devils draft pick before asking about the Red Wings draft
Well, that's
pick.
on brand. Because
Yeah,
Devils before,
case in point.
but he told
Sounds
us
like
Devils
everybody.
before Wings.
Sounds like everybody.
We're talking through it right now. Yeah, sounds like he's a part of everybody. Real quick before we go to the break, is Maz Detroit or everybody? 88. He's having a little bit of a comeback.
He's having a
88% of the people say everybody, which is down from 92.
I love you, Maz.
That's still a landslide.
We do love you, Maz.
It's a landslide.
It's a question. All right, let's take a break. I do want to talk about JB Bickerstaff, and we are going to get into the Tigers.
Kenny
All right,
fucking
let's do
Atkinson.
Buddies and Mad Packs, and then come back to Lady Jane's and Mark.
Buddy's Pizza, everyone. You guys already know what it is. There's 22 Buddies in and around Detroit, which they have one downtown on Broadway across the street from Comerica Park. We were there for the NFL Draft and the Pistons watch party. Phenomenal spot. Who says no all season long? If you're going to go down to the game, who says no to going to Buddy's Pizza?
Yeah. You see how Sean acts whenever he sees
Yeah,
this.
he gets out of pocket, man. It's damn
Look
near.
at it.
Yeah, but look, I mean, he's right. Like, look at it, everybody. You can save 10% on your lunch or dinner order. Use the promo code 10meal. Go to buddiespizza.com and order. They're the original Detroit-style pizza. They've been in the game since 1946. They invented the genre of Detroit-style pizza. Buddy's Pizza. Promo code 10meal.
D-Mac here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with us here at Woodward Sports. You know what that means. Going to be feeling good every day. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High, low is getting you high for the low.
Damn right.
Delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Live resin infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard packs, THCA, moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all the latest updates.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, where you walk in, you sign in. Before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, walk-in anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome.
And let me tell you about Mark White, because if you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice. You can save up to $5,000 at your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White will get you in your dream home today.
All right, we're off and running on a Tuesday. Rest in peace Tuesday, by the way. Coming up in the second hour, going to get to some Tigers talk also. Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. The chat's electric right now. Just some reaction to the questions about Tom Mazaway. Is Maz Detroit or is he everybody? 84% of you say that he's everybody. Stick in the chat. To be Maz would be wonderful. No matter who wins, quote, your team wins, unquote. Super Bowl Cartier. We can't be talking about Maz while he's out of the room. Out of the room, in the room. Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't change if he was here.
Correct.
Same conversation that would go on if it was here. So we are actually technically having it as if he was.
Right. Why are you busting his balls?
We had the same conversation in the group chat with our whole company.
Why are you busting Maz's balls?
Super Bowl Wilson. Maz grew up a Jets fan, but his all-time favorite player is O.J. Simpson from their rival Bills. Maz has been doing this since he was a kid. True. And he's perfected it.
Yeah.
I guess he's perfected it. And then also...
Do you think Maz would rock an NFL hat like Rob Lowe?
No.
Remember wearing the NFL shield?
Yeah. No, I don't think he would. I don't think he would.
I don't know, Maz.
He'd be like, that's representing the Cowboys or something like that.
Honestly, it's kind of a fire hat.
It is.
I would wear an MLB hat.
With just the MLB logo?
Just
the MLB logo is pretty
MLB
cool.
logo's sweet. I think it's the best.
I do too. I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
It is underrated.
What about the old school orange and black
the best.
NHL logo?
The orange and black
classic.
NHL.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as the MLB logo. That's pretty good. Steve, you're a big Marlins guy, Neil. Yeah, but if they play the Tigers, guess who I'm rooting for?
We still, I don't know.
Okay.
You're not as bad as Maz, but you ain't beat the allegations.
What are you talking about?
We know you're a Marlins fan. It's okay.
I like going to the games, yeah. The weather's nice down there. How could you not like going to the games? Woodward Sports chat thread. And then he follows up and says, Neil, you going to more Marlins games or Tiger games? Well, I went to a Tiger spring training game, and I went to a Marlins
I ain't seen
game.
you at many Marlins games many Tigers games this year.
I did a hit on the show from spring training.
It's true.
Spring training, yeah. But you've been to Florida,
You gotta
2
be
or
more
3
dedicated.
times since then?
I don't know.
Oh, nah, you don't know.
Probably a
Look
lot.
at it. You don't recall, huh?
In the Woodward Sports, I'm taking a page out of Michigan's book. Also in the Woodward Sports chat thread, how's OJ's hunt for the real killer going?
Still
in process.
Still open-ended.
Rest in peace, man.
It's moving slow.
You're right. Very,
He just had a
very
bad
slow.
day.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. JB Bickerstaff kind of snubbed, backing up a theme that we're getting towards here. We talk about Detroit versus everybody. Apparently the everybody's Maz. But we saw the Red Wings fall back in the draft from 12 to 13. JB Bickerstaff, Mac, did not receive the Coach of the Year vote. It instead went to Kenny Atkinson, right, of Cleveland.
Yeah. Get the fuck on.
And to me, D-Mac, that's the most stunning one. If you were going to say, bet your family's grocery money on one thing, to me, it would have been J.B. Bickerstaff being coach of the year, man.
You would have thought. Just doing something that's never been done and taking a team from and just the eyeball test and everything else. Not taking away what done in Cleveland, but literally like it doesn't even relate. Is there something to a slap in the face? Do they do that in the NBA? Is this what would lead who votes on this award?
The media.
I looked that up. It is a panel of 100 writers and broadcasters who cover the league.
And we played on the morning show Mike Breen some of his little underhanded comments during that Pistons playoff game. If he's echoing that type of sentiment, is that how other media members feel about J.B. Bickerstaff? He bitches at the refs too much? Is that why we're not giving him Coach of the Year? I think that's garbage.
I agree. Like, to do what he's done,
Who's done the best coaching job? Isn't that what this award is
D-Mac,
for?
and tripling the win total is one thing. All right, that's a tangible. That's something that you can see. You don't see change in the NBA the way you saw it with the Pistons. Not without a magic bullet or LeBron falling out of the sky. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Pistons largely sans two vets that aren't primary or even secondary options. Sans that. Like, it's amazing, dude.
Is there something to the style of basketball that they're playing which isn't the norm to the rest of the league that it gets punished for? Right? Because they got more of an old school
physical play style.
I didn't even think about that.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, we can't give it to him because then everybody's going to copycat and be more defensive. We need points. We need shooting. We need all this and that, even though you had the best shooter off the bench from three.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that is it hurt them because of the style and that old school hardcore that the NBA wants to get away from? They want the high flying and more of the stars. Why did you go to Cleveland or that coach? Well, they got more stars, and you look at like the spotlight more to push from Evan Mobley than it is for Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
by the league.
Yeah,
in my opinion, from watching it from just a casual.
Like, maybe JB doesn't bitch at the refs so much if you actually give us fucking foul calls. Like, Cade Cunningham has been harassed to this point.
Here's the thing. This is perfect. A little bit more disrespect.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit. So you ain't going to change the way we play.
Yeah.
For me, it's like J.B. Bickerstaff had to come in here and establish a culture in 1 year. To get from where they were with Monty Williams, that losing stuff, one of the worst teams in the history of the NBA, to establish a culture here and become a 6th seed is insane. And Kenny Atkinson took over the culture that J.B. Bickerstaff established in Cleveland.
Thank you.
Like, that was his team.
They were already a top 6 team in the
3
East.
stars.
Kenny, give him a couple belts.
I got you.
You know what's funny is, so while you were saying that, I pull up my spot chart from the Pistons games that I did this year because I have all that stuff listed that I talked about, and I had that like locked and ready to load.
He outcoached Kenny Atkinson in a game without Cade Cunningham and blew out the best team in the East.
Like, and that's where it goes to. And I'm not going to get granular like that. Like, I'm not going to say this game was for Coach of the Year. I'm just going to say that Kenny Atkinson, the Coach of the Year in the NBA, with a foundation that J.B. Bickerstaff built, where he walked in the door, took them from 13th in the league in defense to number 1 overall.
Exactly.
He did that.
Kenny Atkinson ain't never did that across his career. He's been a good coach. He's never changed the culture.
That's been the thing J.B. Bickerstaff has done everywhere. When he went to Memphis and coached the Grizzlies, took them from 13th in the league in points allowed to 3rd.
Yep.
Pistons, bottom 3rd defense in the NBA last year. Had them move up to low teens, I think it was, by the time it was done.
Yeah.
He did that. He coaches his ass off.
And it's supposed to be
this is egregious, man. Like, this
to be
really
a regular
is.
season
This
award.
this is one of the most egregious things as of late to voting for an award, isn't it? Like, can you think of what is bigger than that?
For real,
and
D-Mac.
two, when you think about it, like, oh, okay, you want to give it to him, but the fact is that's what JB set up. I think it's just disrespect or whatever Kenny's saying, this and that, but it's it's so Neil. We have to lean into you because this is media and broadcasters, right? That voted on it. How does that linger in, or how do they miss it? How would you miss?
Because they weren't looking for it.
Because they weren't.
You remember when we had Mark Spears on from ESPN?
Shout out.
And I said, Mark, you're the first one to the party on this. You're legit like the first national dude to the party. Why? He said, well, you have to be looking.
It's not hard. When they tripled their fucking win total, it's not hard to see that.
Mark Spears broke this down back in January when we had him on, man. He said, well, you got to be looking. D-Mac, they're not looking.
Yeah.
And I've said this about media forever, dude.
It is.
Lazy. L-A-Z-Y, man. Lazy.
It seems to be a Detroit bias, though. We threw the graphic up earlier. AJ Hinch last year definitely should have been manager of the year. He made it to the playoffs with one fucking pitcher. He doesn't get it. Dan Campbell, franchise record in wins, #1 seed in the NFC.
20 guys on IR.
Exactly. No coach of the year for him. And now you add JB to that list. It's fucking disgusting. It's a Detroit bias going on. I hate to say it, but prove me wrong. You can't.
And I look at one thing. You talk about you got to be watching. You better watch for Trajan Langdon, Executive of the Year. I know they're going to give it to Rob Pelinka because he was gifted Luka Doncic by the NBA.
But you know what?
You have Trajan Langdon, who brought in a 6th Man of the Year finalist and a Head Coach of the Year finalist. If that
in like a week.
If that doesn't make you Executive of the Year, I don't know what would.
In a week, he did that.
Yeah.
And you're right. You know Pelinka's going to get that, dude. You know he is because he was gifted. And look, this has happened with the Lakers from time to time. Joe Dumars said that, was quoted on it. I was listening to the interview.
Yeah.
When he said, it's a lot easier to win in the NBA when you have guys like Paul Gasol gifted to you. He used those words. Joe Dumars used those words.
It's what happens. It always happens.
It definitely happens.
They got to keep the Lakers relevant because that is the one thing that will keep the NBA relevant through everything.
Hector Rivera. Oh, yeah, how about my Knicks? Let's go F Boston and all you Detroit fans who thought we were going to be easy for the Celtics. Well, Hector, as I said,
they're still
when they go 15 for 60 from 3, you're going to beat them.
They was whooping y'all ass.
But guess what's going to happen to you? That they will never shoot that badly from 3 again. They won't in this series. Like it happened here. And when the Celtics lose, it always looks like this, man. But what about next game when they go 32 for 60 from 3 and beat you by 40? Because it's going to happen. It is. And then Tibbs will just shut down Brunson and Cat because why would you put them in there? And look, Hector, you'll see. Good luck.
Right.
Good luck,
It's
my
one
friend.
game.
There's a reason the Celtics are still minus 330 to win the series.
Yes, they are. All right. Let's take the break, get into some Tiger stuff. When we return, your Detroit Tigers. Planet Fitness, everyone, was just in there a couple hours ago, as a matter of fact, getting it in. A lot of cardio, been on a kind of a cardio kick, trying to refine some things, and Planet Fitness gives me the availability and the ability to do it wherever I am. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. There's 2,600 plus of them around the world. And wherever I am, there's always one close by. I've been all over the country working out in them. South Florida, Milwaukee this year. There's always one nearby. So if you guys keep talking about doing it, which you do, I'm going to get in better shape. I'm going to do this. I got to find a way to get this started. Then here's the thing. Just get it started. Just walk into one of the ones you pass on the way home. It's $24.99 a month for a black card. Think about the dumb stuff you spend $24.99 a month on right now. How about you do something for you and take a step in the direction? Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Big Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You already know Loom Cannabis Company, but did you know that they've got all the brands you love now for less with unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program around? Loom is a premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of our 38 locations. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order online or in-store. Go to www.loom.com today.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Rest in peace Tuesday. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Young Justin is here. We'll see who he's rooting for before the end of the day. Tom Mazaway roots for the Devils. You guys know what it is. Operation Eggplant.
Operation Eggplant.
For E&E in the chat. Pepper that thing with eggplants. There we go. Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Pushing 82,000 of you that have done it. Hector Rivera, what if the Knicks win the series? What are y'all going to say next? Well, Hector, what if they get cooked in 5 and you're sitting there over the first tax apron of the NBA salary cap to have Cat and a team that's one player away from the Celtics? What are you going to say then,
5
Hector?
picks for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, what are you going to say? Hector, for real. Because I think that's a more relevant question. What if it doesn't work, Hector, and you're aproned out?
And I'm sorry, the Knicks got to prove it to us. They haven't won since when?
The 70s.
Yeah, come on, dog. Knicks got to prove
So
it.
I would say, Hector, we have slightly more questions for you than you do for us. A little more pressure on you guys, huh?
Yeah.
So what about that, Hector? I await your response. All right, D-Mac. Tigers in Denver. They're playing the Rockies. The Rockies, man.
Trash.
It's straight trash. Business as usual, right? Two or three is the expectation.
Two or three is the men.
The men, right?
Yeah. Especially, but you got good teams look at that and
they've won 6 games.
They pound them, right?
Nuts.
6 games. You can't. I mean, I'd be looking to whoever it is. You'd be frothing at this lineup, but you got to dial it in. You can't take them lightly. But it's just everybody's eating off them, so you got to eat off them too. With what the Tigers got going on, it's about continuing momentum, right? And we want to see this, so it's a perfect opportunity to go out and get your hits. It's like going, it's like going into a game where
get your numbers.
Get your numbers.
Pretty much.
I'm going to get a little extra ice time. Might even see the power play. Maybe time for a little D-Mac cookie. One of the 7 all year, but you know what? Might be tonight.
Colorado Rockies. Cinco de Mayo was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
May 5th was yesterday. They are 17 and a half games out of first place.
God, damn.
You know what's awesome about this guy, Hector Rivera, in the Woodward Sports chat?
What's that?
He is the epitome of a New York fan because he doesn't watch the sports at all. He just likes to hear himself talk. He said, Tigers would get mud stomped by the Yankees. Oh, surely the Tigers haven't swept the Yankees already this year, Hector.
Surely.
Dang.
I know. Hey, that New York Yankees pitching staff. What will we do against that?
Classic New York fan. Doesn't watch the sports, just likes to talk.
Yeah. So there it is. Maz knows. He's a New York. Well, he's a New Jersey fan.
Maz watches the sports.
Oh.
But yeah. So there's that. But D-Mac, it is like my standard rules apply though. Even with them being a six win team, you take 2 or 3 on the road. I'm cool with it. Get 3 if you can get 3, but that's pretty much the story. I believe Scooble's pitch in the 3rd game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a non-negotiable right there. That's
that
already
was on
a win.
Fox too, also.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, a lot of these games becoming non-negotiables. The way they pitching,
No doubt.
It's crazy.
The Rockies pitcher is a bum.
Is this? And look, the pitching we think is a non-negotiable. Tarek Scooble's going to win the Cy Young. And we know what we have with the pitching staff. But, D-Mac, the question that I've been waiting to ask you.
All about that offense.
Is this sustainable?
Well, I would revert back to you and go, hey, Neil, what's their record since they put the push on in late July when our apathy came back and stuff like this? Like, they're like a
52-28-ish, something like that.
Pretty damn good.
To me, I look at it more in the whole of that, looking in the last, because they're just, so to answer your question, right, it's a consistency that they've shown over almost a half a season's worth of time leading back into their playoff push last year. You know, when they were 0.2% to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this team is legit. And I think that the way that you're seeing it, you nailed it earlier, Neil. We're going to lose games 4-1 with 2 hits and 12 strikeouts and Javi going 0 for 4 and Torque going 0 for 4. But the fact is that they can rebound. How about the rebound of Riley Green?
Yeah.
True professional baseball players go through those slumps and fights his way out. Did he win Player of the Week?
I'm not
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, whatever else.
Yeah.
He set a
fucking win
Major League Baseball record with 2 dogs and a 9.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying is that, do you think Riley Green's back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's back, whatever it was. But I think the consistency at different times is they're not just leaning on one guy, or when we talk about if Torque doesn't hit, if Green doesn't hit. Right? Like, say what you want, Neil, but your guy's over 300 and being a positive attribute to this team. And I'm talking about Javi Baez. So, you know, you got, yes, to
Cole
answer your
Keefe
question,
has
I
picked it
do
up.
think
Yeah,
because this is what the team is. And their backbone or their strength is their pitching.
Yeah, and real quick, checking in on our old pal Hector in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, regular season don't mean shit. Checks notes. Tigers are 10-3 all time in the playoffs versus the Yankees.
Yeah, Hector said that. When's the last time the Tigers won anything? Odds are the last time they played the Yankees.
Right.
Burn. Maybe when the Yankees have 20 wins this season, they can sit at the big kids table with the rest of us. So that one's out there also. And D-Mac, for me, though, the stunning number, and this should be stunning to everybody because we literally talked about this very question. They are 5th in baseball right now in home runs.
Crazy.
5th. Like
team with no power.
That's absurd to me. How? Surely that can't continue, right? Because it can't, right?
You hitting that parlay that we always talking about. Like, we're actually hitting it. Like, Zach McKinstry bounce back here.
Yeah,
Torkelson bounce back here. Like, it's crazy.
I want to say no, but the reason that I think it is to some degree, are they going to finish the year 5th in home runs?
Probably not.
No, they are not.
Yeah.
But with that being said, D-Mac, the reason that you can buy into it in my mind is no matter who comes up in a big spot, you expect them to get a hit. And they do. And it's not like Torque's run out and he's on a pace for like 50 home runs?
Yeah,
or
something
crazy.
crazy.
Some crazy number.
48.
48 it is.
48.
Like, is that sustainable?
Yeah.
He has too many 2 for 24 stretches, I think, for that to be sustainable. But whatever. He's fine. He's back. I was never really out on him the way some people were. You know, this is a guy that had 500 minor league at bats.
True,
or whatever.
but if you were justified.
No, sure.
Even the organization put pressure on it.
Sure, like he's still a young player in terms of at bats in the major leagues. But with that being said, D-Mac, they're getting such balance offensively that even if 2 guys fall off, they can still be top 10, top 12.
That's the team. Like, their pitching is their number one asset. But now when you look at, are they getting through, like Dylan Dingler, all the guy Dingler, McKinstry, Trey Sweeney goes for 6 RBI. Like, they're feeding off each other, and it doesn't have to be the pressure of this guy. In the past, if this guy didn't hit and this guy didn't hit, you didn't have a chance. And then Scooble didn't pitch a gem, you didn't have a chance. Like, they've learned how to play baseball. This is a baseball team.
Yeah, I've talked about how this offense is. We knew what the pitching staff was. KG said that a couple times. We knew what the pitching staff was going to be good, but the offense being the surprise that it is, and it looking like it's sustainable, because right now they're 5th in the major league in home runs and 5th in the major league in OPS. They are 1st in the major league when it comes to taking the extra base, going from 1st to 3rd.
But bottom in the league in terms of stolen bags.
But bottom in the league in terms of stolen bags. But you look at how they're doing it, and like you said, Riley Green had a cold stretch. Torkelson had a cold stretch. Colt Keith had a cold stretch. You had unexpected production, like 7th in the league on base percentage from Zach McKinstry. 1st on the Tigers in WAR from Javi Baez. You're not expecting those things. That helps you stay afloat when your studs aren't hitting. And now that Colt Keith and Riley Green, who are the 2 guys you expected to be in the middle of your lineup, are starting to swing the bat pretty well. You got Vierling coming back. Who knows when Parker Meadows is coming back? Wenzel Perez is progressing. That offense looks like it's going to be sustainable for the majority of the season.
Best team in the American League record-wise, and why, Neil, is because in the past, the exact same things have happened, and you lose games and be a 500 team because nobody can pick up for the big dogs when they're down. Now, everybody else has learned how to chip in. Even, like they're carry 3 even Naito, who doesn't hit out of his, a paper bag, and he's being effective not only behind the plate and stuff like this. So the role players are doing a hell of a job carrying the weight until the big dogs get going. Are we not just witnessing what good baseball teams do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? When their top guys go down, somebody steps up. And this just gives them confidence because I think they know that they win as a team. Right? Win as a team when you're like, imagine if the bats do get going throughout the lineup. Yeah. Like, I think this team is for real, and this is more of who they are.
Oh, they're definitely for real.
Like this is who they are.
We're seeing them on both sides, on the offense and the pitching staff, buy into what these guys are trying to teach them. I talked about that seam shifted wake with the changeup and how they're implementing that with all of their pitchers. Obviously, Tarek Skubals is turned into nastiness. You see Reese Olson, Jackson Jobe, and Casey Mize doing it as well, and then obviously Tommy Kahnle is one of the best. They love that pitch. They want that as a strikeout pitch. The pitchers are buying into it, and it's helping. Since Scott Harris and AJ Hinch became one, they've talked about owning the strike zone, not swinging at things off the plate, punishing pitchers when they come inside to you.
Aggressive on the base
pass, and this whole team is buying in. You got Javi Baez not swinging at stuff 2 feet off the plate. Like I said, you and the Astros are number 1 from going 1st to 3rd. This team is buying into how AJ Hinch wants them to play baseball, and it's showing dividends.
Neil, everything that we talked about in the offseason, we have not said a fucking word about, like, since the season started. Like, the defense isn't perfect, but at the same time, they've played pretty fucking well, and you got to give Javi credit in that regard. He's played a good center field. But, and you're doing this without most of your guys being back. So I got a couple questions for you. The first one being, is it crazy or too early to say that what we're seeing out of this Tigers team is special? Is this special, what we're seeing?
Yeah, but that's the way it works sometimes, right? And that's why I don't want to say they have 2006 vibes, because that 06 team kind of came out of, I don't want to say nowhere, because they had talent. Like they had signed Pudge and they had signed Maglio. But it does feel like the wind's at their back, doesn't it? Like there's just a little bit. And I've always said this too. The reason they're good is because of Tarek Skubal.
Absolutely. But
because you can't have a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Because you have Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
And that, I think people sleep on that. We just expect it out of him. And people miss that.
He's the best pitcher in the world.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Like, period, end of story.
Yeah.
He is. And you can't have a prolonged losing streak with him as your number 1, because he doesn't lose. Like it's crazy, I know, and I know he's lost a few games, but I'm talking over 162
we know
games.
What you mean. Yeah,
like that's the way that it works.
But the rest of that pitching staff has picked it up to the point where I don't think the Tigers.
Well, Flaherty's not even pitching well.
He's not, but they have not lost consecutive games like that either. Like, they are resilient. They bounce back. If they lose a game badly, they normally come back the next day and win by double digits, which is absolutely fucking crazy.
Tarek Skubal is on just an insane stretch of games, but they're like Reese Olson is right behind him on an insane stretch. He hasn't given up a run in like 4 starts. Like, the guy
he could be an all-star possibly, man, if he continues to pitch this way.
And you haven't even brought up Casey Mize.
Yeah, Casey Mize as well, and then Jackson Jobe and Flaherty.
It literally is like a 6-leg parlay.
Yeah. It's the summer of I'm back. All 3 of them are back with Javi, Mize, and Torque. They're all back, and it's normally we're like, wait, he's back. They are, and now we're the best team in the American League.
You get that feeling, D-Mac, from this team? Like
Are
the
they
06?
special?
Like the 06 vibes?
Ish.
Like it's just going to be their year.
It feels different.
So I wish I had something better to quantify it than vibes, but that's all I have.
But the biggest thing also too
And
is
scuba.
like look at the way that AJ is still doing, the way that he's able to manipulate the lineup and stuff like this because guys are healthy.
Yeah.
You know, guys are putting in the work and available.
Yeah.
Right, for the most part. In the past, you know, like right now, are we not like where are you at compared to the beginning of the season with Casey Mize?
I love it.
As far as breaking down. Right? Like, we haven't even brought up a conversation about guys being hurt or, you know, other than Parker Meadows and the guys who are already hurt and Verling. But these guys are the ones that are going out and doing it. And to not say, right, like, look at Javi Baez, too, right? Granted, he's producing more like a $25 million player.
Yeah.
But look at what he's done. He's shown an example in that locker room that whatever it takes, and you know what, whatever you want to say, him playing center field, that's, to me, that sparked him at the plate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, and why is that? I don't know. Other than, you know, like, this is what I expected. This is the Javi Baez who I wanted to be a part of the team. The biggest issue, right? Why we wanted him out of there, because he was affecting the younger guys. They got him out of there. They went on a run, but he's figured out how to, you know, adhere himself to this.
And
team
AJ Hinch gets to deploy him now.
Yes.
Instead of you're playing shortstop every day. I don't care that you're 2 for your last 38
Right,
with 16 strikeouts.
Right.
Because of the contract.
And
There's
you
some
gotta give him credit for
accountability,
performing,
right?
though.
There's some accountability not only to the lineup that it's just you're not getting marched out every day, that you got to earn it. And I think that's throughout the lineup and just the way they built, because I mean, these guys play hard and they play for each other, and I like it. It's got that vibe of what are Detroit teams when we talk about in the locker room and stuff like that.
And, like, I know this isn't something that Red Wings fans want to hear, but the Detroit Tigers have organizational depth. They not only are the number one team in the American League, but they have the number one farm system in the MLB. And Bryce Rayner is tearing the cover off the ball. Max Clark is tearing the cover off the ball. Like, it's Scott Harris has built a juggernaut, truly.
Yeah.
And
the future is bright.
Do I still want Alex Bregman? Yeah. I would have loved to have Alex Bregman and his 900 OPS in this lineup right now.
With 10 home runs or whatever.
Because you would be the World Series favorite if you had Alex Bregman right
That's facts.
But it's just it's awesome.
And Neil, not to hijack, I did want to ask you this because we asked it on the morning show. By the way, we might have incriminating evidence on Maz.
Yeah, I just sent Spenny some very incriminating evidence.
What?
Yeah, we might have
Slack.
something for the next
So
segment.
check
on
your
Maz.
Slack
But
DMs.
Before you think I'm crazy, I want you to pull up the Tiger schedule for May and the teams that they go against. But the Tigers have won 28 games, or have 28 games in the month of May, and have already won 3. I asked on the morning show, can the Tigers finish this month 22-6?
That's aggressive.
It is aggressive, but look at who they play.
I know, but I know that. I understand that. But you got to remember, too, like this is, and the bettors understand this. This is a league where regularly teams are a minus 300 favorite.
Yeah.
If you lose one of them, you have to hit the next 5 to make a profit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
I get
lose. The best team goes 162.
I understand.
Generally, they lose, which means they lose 62 games.
They almost
dude.
won 20 games in the month of April.
And it's a 6-month season. You lose 10 games per month, man. Like, it's
just saying.
That's insane, dude. Like,
insane? I don't think it's insane.
I would have to see a betting price on
Like
that.
I said, in April, they won 19 games, almost 20.
Give me a betting line on it.
I don't know what the betting line is. We'll
Give me a betting line on it, and I'll tell you. And just real quick before we cut to the break, the Jack Flaherty and Reese Olson's numbers are comparable. You see what I'm saying? Like the whip is comparable. The walks are comparable. Flaherty's got more strikeouts. So here's this kind of illustrates this Tigers team. When Reese Olson, by the numbers, has a little bit of give, that'll be about the time that Flaherty steps up. And the numbers will be comparable. They'll be like comparable pitchers, but that's just the ebb and flow of the way it's working right now.
Yeah.
If Reese Olson has a slip, Flaherty will take a step forward, and it will kind of negate each other, and the train keeps going. So It is. It's wild, man. It's absolutely, absolutely wild. Let's talk about merch, everybody. Shop.woodwardsports.com. That is the move. If you want your Woodward Tigers gear, that's the play. You're going to be going downtown, be going to the games. Get geared up. You can still get a Boot 'em Kid shirt, too, if you want it. Because people still want it because they're still buying them. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. It's true.
And let me tell you about Les Stanford. Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month. Try out one of the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevations for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce here every Tuesday. He'll be in about half an hour during Big D Energy, and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups, just 4. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Young Justin's in the building. Also, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, lob your thoughts out there. Subscribe. Burn in the super chat. If you want to skip the line, do like Burn did. Use that super chat. Are the Tigers even peaking? We're missing pieces. There is something with that where I do think people are – I think there's going to be kind of this unrealistic expectation on Parker Meadows when he comes back.
Yeah.
Like the longer it marinates, like the people think he's going to fly in a cape, you know, and that he's going to be like Ken Griffey Jr., like in his prime playing center field.
The beauty is he doesn't have to.
You don't need
and that's my point.
That's the beauty between now and the past is they can, like you said, he can put him in when he's ready or give him the rehab start. You don't need to rush him or even Verling back, even though you're going to know what to expect even more. So I think that's also the luxury you're looking at.
Brian Cuzno with a bunch of eggplants. Sorry, Neil, I'm just practicing. For those that don't know, if you go back to about the 11:10 mark, 11:10 a.m. of the show, we had a critical question about Maz. And is he part of Detroit or is he part of everybody? So we are calling, and there is Maz right there with the Patrick Ewing jersey, who texted us, quote, suck it, seconds after the Knicks beat the Celtics in the game yesterday. So we are calling Operation Eggplant for E&E. Just go into the chat and spam those eggplants. Spam those eggplants.
Thank you for the picture, Shane Daniel.
Yeah, shout out Shane Daniel with the detective work.
Right. Hard evidence right there.
Hard evidence.
Again, I'm not mad at Maz for being happy for the Knicks. That's his team. You can root for the Knicks, whatever.
But read the room.
I'm mad at Maz for texting a group chat full of Pistons fans. Suck it. That's what I'm mad at.
Read the room.
Yeah. Maz was 50 years old in that picture holding the goddamn trophy.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I look like evil Maz.
The Just for Maz kid.
Dude, that was one of the funniest days of my life. I swear to God. I was in
that
tears.
shit was hilarious.
D-Mac, you expecting World Series for this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come down to whatever. I expect them to win this division. I expect them at least the AL championship. And then if they're healthy, they got as good of a shot.
I think like anything else, it's kind of road dependent, and I'm going to get killed for this. I am not concerned with the Yankees. I'm not concerned with what's going on in the AL West. The only team I would be concerned about is the Guardians.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Matchup game. The back half of their bullpen. They play a 7-inning game. Like, it's just, for me, that's where it is. And last year, last year we didn't have near the starting pitching depth that we do now because we traded our pitcher that was the Game 1 starter for the World Series for the LA Dodgers. Game 1. In free agency, we got him back.
Scooped him up like a ground ball.
That's it. I feel as though that's what gives the Tigers the edge over the Guardians if they were to meet again. I feel that 100% in my bones. Like, you could tell at the end, Skubal looked gassed. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We asked everything of that man, and he literally gave everything he had to offer.
Yep, till the wheels fell off.
Till the wheels fell off. That's a great way to put it. DNCENT, thanks to Neil, I have 2 Tigers futures. $10 on us to win the AL at plus 650 and $10 to win the World Series at plus 1,700. The World Series thing could be aggressive, but maybe not, man. Maybe not. But I'm with you on the AL. D-Mac, I got that feeling. Stephen Kwan is annoying AF. And D-Mac, that's when you boil it all down, that's what it is for me. Like Jose Ramirez, Stephen Kwan. I'm glad Naylor's gone, but it's just a matchup thing, man. I do not like it.
No, but you understand where your pitfalls are, where you're gonna, who you're gonna ram heads with. I think you made the most poignant. Okay, I'm never afraid of the Yankees.
No.
10-3 history against them.
We always beat the Yankees.
What's that?
We always beat the Yankees.
Historically.
I just think, Neil, it's like anything else. If this team stays healthy and if they can get a couple guys back or whatever, yes, I like the way they're built. They're built like a baseball team, right? They don't have
I think that's the best way to put it.
They're AJ Hinch has these guys built like a baseball team, and what do you know? Like defense can get better, right? That's where
and
it's
it will.
out.
When Veerling comes back, when Parker, you want to talk about Parker's bat. You're getting a Gold Glove center fielder back. You're getting a guy, Matt Veerling, who plays damn good wherever you put him, whether it be third base or the outfield. So that's going to help the defense because then Javi could play short.
And third occasionally.
Or third, yeah.
Occasionally, yeah.
Is this the most, do you consider the depth that we have on this team to be such a strength finally? Like the bench, the way that AJ, the lineup, and if we got healthy and add Meadows and Verling to that, you have options. It's a baseball team, right? That's what you like, built on pitching.
Well, and the other thing too is Matt Veerling's going to be a 270 professional hitter. You know what he's going to bring to the table.
He's professional.
But you're not relying on him like you did last year.
And that's what he's just a guy that fits in now at this point. Not like, oh my God, we have to have Matt Veerling back or we're screwed. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to disrespect Matt Veerling. It's that goes to show you know what you're going to get. Because remember last year
we were dependent upon him.
I talked about him. I said he's the most professional dude on this team. I.e., I know what Matt Veerling's going to provide. There are no questions about it. Matt Veerling is the kind of guy you win with. For real. Like Matt Veerling isn't going to go play on the Rockies or the Marlins and be a guy that's going to lead them to wins and stuff like that. It's not going to work like that. But you put him on a good team, and then you see the value of Matt Veerling.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I relate him to like a Kiki Hernandez for the Dodgers, right? Like he's not your greatest player, but he's a ball
Mr.
player.
Everything, yeah.
Mr.
And he brings some juice.
right? You sleep on it and think about it. You're worried about Torque and you're worried about Green and you're worried about Carp, and then Vierling just comes up and, does his thing. Like true professional baseball player. You know what you're going to get and count on every day.
Woodward Sports, Super Chat, Berm. We took the Guardians to the limit with one starting pitcher and a team of minor league players last year. The Guardians are not that team this year. But the pieces are very similar, with the exception of Naylor being gone. Like still, as people in the chat said, like Stephen Kwan's still a pain in the ass. Class A, we got him once last year in the playoffs. We didn't get him again though. Like, that goes to show you too. They play a different game. See, here's the deal with the Tigers. The Tigers play a different game because of the depth of their starting rotation, in the fact that they have the human streak buster in Tarek Skubal. It's different for the Tigers than everybody else. Because with what the Tigers do, the extended losing streak is not in play. The Guardians play a different game because they play 7-inning games. Because of the back end of that bullpen's an absolute hammer, and one of the best in the game at it. The Yankees get by because of quirks, like their quirky, silly little stadium that they play in. Like gimmick. They get by on gimmicks. And Aaron Judge is great.
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
Power is a big reason. Power carries them until it's time to play.
Right, well, especially when you get 319-foot home runs. It's like they play at Liberty Park softball diamonds down at the old 14 Mound.
I could hit a home run in Yankee Stadium.
Well, let's not get crazy.
I could.
But
just saying.
If we went to a field with 300-foot fences, KG, you could not hit a home run.
Clearly, but I'm being facetious.
Okay.
But I could. Don't play with me, dude.
Can we get Lentz and get the camera? Get a couple of the Groves boys out there.
There we go.
A home run?
Yeah.
300-foot fences?
Yeah.
I think you could.
You ain't seen me in the cage, man. I'm not bad.
There's no way you could hit a home run on a 300-foot fence.
Okay.
With a wood bat or a metal bat?
With a wood bat.
Oh, wood bat.
Yeah, wood bat.
With a metal bat, I was like, that's kind of disrespectful, Neil.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it is.
I had one home run.
What's that?
I had one home run.
Did you?
I only played baseball for 1 year, and I hit one home run.
In high school?
Yep.
What year?
Freshman year.
Oh yeah, so you were swimming and playing baseball.
Yeah, and played football.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't play baseball anymore. I was like,
it's not for me.
Too much. No, because they're like, you're because I was a lefty and I played first base, so like you're gonna be on varsity next year. I was like,
Yeah. Not trying to.
I'm good with the two.
Who farted? Get Broder out there to pitch to KG.
Yeah, I need a good 75 center cut fastball. I'm taking that bitch yard. Stop playing.
I mean, George Springer couldn't get a hit off him.
I want to see Brady and
Broder gonna throw me a dummy.
I want to see Brady and Broder.
So do I.
Because Brady's really good at baseball. Like, really good. He's not as good as Broder was, but Brady also is younger and closer to his prime than Broder was.
Oh.
Brady hit like 400 in college or something like that.
400?
Yeah.
Shit.
Sean James, this baseball team is built like a baseball team. That's brilliant. No, Sean, look around the league. They're not all built like that, man. Again, like the Yankees sit there on gimmicks and home runs, and what happens, like what happened in the World Series last year. When you got in a real stadium, like Dodger Stadium, like what happened? That shit dried up a little bit, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Danny G, I once hit a ball 450 feet with a wood bat. The cameras just weren't on, though.
Yeah, it'd be like that, man.
That's convenient. No,
tell y'all, man.
That's absolutely convenient. All right, let's do this then. Let's take the break because I do want to transition. I do want to transition to a Red Wings question that I was waiting for DMAC to get back because I think it's viable. And with the NHL draft lottery in the books, with the with the Red Wings picking 13th, it's an uncomfortable conversation, but I feel like we have to have it. So where are we going? Caesars?
Yep.
Caesars Sportsbook, everyone, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports, and they still have the deal going for you. Scan the QR code on the screen above my head, right there it is, and use the promo code Woodward1000 when you sign up. That way, when you make your first deposit with the code Woodward1000, you make your first bet. And when you do, if you lose it all the way up to $1,000, hence the Woodward 1000, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. That is correct. Almost like a free spin. Caesars Sportsbook, man. It's Caesars. We know Caesars. You know Caesars. One of the OGs in the sports betting game. The app is clean. It doesn't glitch. Easy to navigate. All of it. We had texters earlier in the show talking about it, the good lines that they have, all the markets. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
All right, Woodward Sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or just simply chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got over 30 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. If you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Go to jarscannabis.com. See where you can get your favorite product today. Check out their McCarty brand in all jars.
Damn right.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Happy to have you with us. And D-Mac, it's time for an uncomfortable question. And it's something that when I saw Spenny bring it up, I think it's very relevant to discuss. And this could be, since we talked about the NHL draft lottery, this could be the final time that we talk Red Wings for a minute. You know, until hopefully until free agency gets going.
Get your shit off.
And the more I think about it, the more worried I get about it. What if Kosa's not ready to play next season?
He's not going to be.
He's not.
Well, as of right now, Steve told you that he's not. So then you got you plan B. You're waiting for, like, if that was going to be it, and then you got to go out and figure it out. What if it's not? What if he is? What happened last night?
He didn't play.
Yeah, it was
He
Campbell.
got benched for Jack Campbell. Because in game 1, he got absolutely snipped up the entire game.
Okay, well, it's a growing thing.
He looked uncomfortable. He has not looked good in the second half of the season.
What's the series?
2-0 Dallas.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
or Texas.
I mean, so that's reality. So uncomfortable with reality that some of these don't pay out. Then this could be, right, the biggest one where people get upset. But how are you going to adjust? Like, I don't care. Like, you got to adjust. So I think, right, guys, maybe why Kosa's not been here at all is because Steve wasn't ready. And that happens, too, as you're developing guys. So to me, more pressure on Stevie. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? So that means, like, what, Augustine's a savior in a few years, even though he's going back to college. So you're going to have to pick up one of these rentals and turn, hoping what you wanted Cam Talbot to be one of these guys.
And Talbot was.
You got Talbot and you got Mrazek still, and that's what they're going to go with next year. But we talked about.
Here's my question, and I'm not even going to say 9-15. Can those two combine for a 9-10 save percentage?
Sheesh.
Because to me, they're 9. They're 9.
Mrazek can get there alone. I don't know if Talbot can get there. Mrazek had a 9-13 when he was not hurt playing for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, okay.
I thought Talbot was good last year.
Whatever it is, they need somebody in there that can. They need their penalty killing to get figured out. I mean, from what I've heard, I'm sure there's some coaching changes at the assistant coaching changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the top or whatever, but they need to figure out the PK and figure out how to keep puck out of the net at 9:15.
And I said it. Woodward Wings, shout out. Me and Justin did it. If you're going with Talbot and Mrazek next year, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. That should be enough if the defense is improved next year to get you through that. But if you're picking up another bridge goalie after that, because both of those guys will be off the team, if you're picking up another bridge goalie after that, you're not bridging to Kosa. You're bridging to Augustine.
Yeah, you're right, which is pretty much.
Or you're a bridge to nowhere. Like,
yeah,
for real. For real. Dante 151 in the super chat. Shedeur Sanders will wear the number 12 jersey.
SS12.
All right. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I just came up with that.
That's pretty hard.
Oh, did you?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Legendary. Yeah. But no, D-Mac, I worry about it. Not for the hockey. Not for the hockey. Like, not will Kosa make the difference of the Red Wings getting to the playoffs or not? If Kosa doesn't work, that could be the E4 that sinks the battleship for the public.
I agree.
For the fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it doesn't. No, if Kosa doesn't work and they make the playoffs, what do you?
No one will care.
Still only 22.
So what are you talking about?
I know. No, I'm saying no. Like, just the pitchforks are out.
That's a first round fire and miss. Like if he doesn't, but is it like you said, Spenny? He's 22. Goalies maybe. You need him to develop quicker.
Yes.
Yes.
But if he's not, you can't force that.
Yeah, he's not done.
He's still got potential.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time.
But I just
but
think
there's something
Augustine's
there. Like you would expect him to be there by now. Like a lot of times, in development, it's
because like
Neil just speaking to the optics though, like
yeah,
how it's going to look to the people.
It's not the ice. I'm not talking about the games. I'm not talking about the ice. I'm not talking about any of that. And look, I know in the end, it's not his concern. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, for the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how this is going to look, right?
It gets worse every year that they don't get in the playoffs.
You know what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
If Kosa's not up and Mrazek struggles.
Oh, you guys said that. Just wait on the kids. Yeah, it's going to get bad.
No, 100%. Woodward Sports chat thread. Hector in there. We absolutely own the Guardians, and you're worried about them. Well, yeah, Hector, because they beat us, but we own you. You see the triangle going on right now, Hector? Like that's the way it works. You know sports about matchups, right?
Yeah.
And you don't match up against us.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
You know how I know? Check the record.
Yeah.
Like that's all we can go by. So it's a matchups thing. I know New York fans don't live in the real world.
They don't watch sports.
No, they don't.
Yeah, our
They just
fences
yell on
aren't
the streets.
in the infield.
Look at it.
I do think for the optics, to go back to the Red Wings conversation, I think the optics are definitely going to get worse if Kosa doesn't sniff significant NHL minutes next year.
Yes.
And I do think it will add public pressure on Yzerman, as it's been added to over this entire season. But I don't think it bothers the plan of the Illiches at all.
If Kosa doesn't play next year, but they make the playoffs, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. The fan base won't even care if he's a flat out bust and he never plays for the Red Wings.
Right, but that's like a non-Kosa related. You see what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
like these are the waters we're in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you are subject to stuff that doesn't really impact anything when you boil it all down, but we don't live in reality like
You
that.
got to make the playoffs. Have to.
And D-Mac, I guess we've taken the long road, the long way to just basically ask that question, D-Mac, where, and this is even me, it's time to make the playoffs,
Yeah,
man.
no,
Like,
public pressure is a real thing.
What do you think coming close and missing by a point or missing by like a shitty, what they first got to do is mark the block end of February into March and realize that they can't go 1-19 and 2 over 3-year span.
Mm-hmm.
They got to take care of business. They can be a playoff team if they step up. Like, there's a lot, they've always, in the last few years, they haven't had the luxury. We just got done talking about the Tigers, right? Baseball team, bench play, stuff like this. They had their top guys go down. They have no chance. The one that cost them this year was Kopp.
Yep.
They were rolling until they lost Kopp. And, right, I don't think, like, their maturity was enough. But they're one of those teams in that, 4-5 to 12-13. How can they elevate? Should they be able to? Because, like, you take any of the parts of the last 2 seasons and you change a little bit, right? And it's not a huge change. It's maybe not be the 3rd worst penalty kill in the history of the league. Maybe have a 75 penalty kill.
Yeah.
What is that? Maybe it's win games late. Maybe it's hold a lead in March in the 3rd period and not cost yourself points. Maybe it's don't go on a 9-game streak of getting no points.
Yeah, it's the old NBA philosophy where if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And they thought that they could just supplement the pieces that they lost in free agency in Gostisbehere and Wallman, and they didn't do a good enough job at that. So this year, you have to go into this offseason thinking you have to make significant changes to improve this team. Because if you don't, all the other teams...
Did they do... Here's the whole
defensively.
thing. Right, but here's the whole thing, right? Did you
forward-wise.
agree with Steve Eisman when he said that this team, if they played to their potential, would be a playoff team, wild card team? Is that how you looked at last year's team? Because I look at the free agents that he signed did not play up to their potential. You got more out of Gustafson once the coaching change was made, but Hall, Tarasenko, whatever else, right? Not the end-all be-all. So, and what you're saying is that guys that he brings in or whatever have to play up to their expectations, sort of like what Kane has done, sort of like what DeBrincat has done, sort of like what the young guys that have developed in Casper and Johansson and Edvidson and, even Soderblom have done. So you need guys to come in and play well, right? If you sign free agents and they don't play well and you're one of these teams in the muck, you ain't making the playoffs.
Well, you know what's crazy about it, D-Mac? And you were banging this drum the whole year where you said the penalty kill was historically bad.
Just
like
third
not,
worst in the history of the NHL.
Like not bad.
Like in 100 years.
Like not
just
bad for the Red
history
Wings.
In 100 years.
Like bad forever. Like bad for all time.
Like gross. That because that's hard work, and that tells you more than anything. Because that's commitment.
Effort. Yeah.
You're talking to a guy who watched guys stick their face in front of pucks, right? Because it meant that much to win. So, the game. I'm not saying anything else, but that is the most egregious thing for us, for myself and my brethren of Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, I can only imagine how that made you feel, seeing guys being left wide open in front of the net and going to guys in the corner instead on a consistent basis, not clearing pucks out of the crease, just base level, simple, fundamental hockey stuff that they just were not doing on a day-to-day basis.
My question, D-Mac, when you kind of put it all back together is, how are they ever even that close to the playoffs? For real. How? With the one of the worst penalty kills of all time, how are they even close? And that's where I circle back.
Power play.
Yeah. Well, but that's where I circle back, D-Mac, where when we talked about the Costa stuff, I get scared and I'm like, what if he stinks? Like, what if he doesn't play? What if he never makes it? And then I start thinking about it. I'm like, they were playoff-ish. I won't say nearly. Like, it wasn't like last year where it came down to the last game of the season. But they were playoff adjacent. Is that a way to say it?
I guess, yeah.
They were playoff adjacent. They had a spot during times of the regular season with the worst penalty kill in the history of the NHL. And then my question would be, what does it matter who plays goalie then? For real. Because, everyone gets fixated on the goalie. And, look, this is a tale as old as time here in this city. It's what we do. And the chat's saying it right now. They don't know how to win those March and April games. They don't know how to be physical. The goaltending's not good. That's a tale. You guys weren't physical enough. D-Mac, remember those? I know you read the newspaper. You guys weren't physical enough until you started scoring more goals. That's that's the way that it works.
Yeah, but our success was never about scoring goals. We had all that manpower was keeping them out. It's all about, I don't care, hockey's about, can you make that save? Can you keep that puck out of your net? Doesn't matter how great your power play is, when your penalty kill is that inept and you can't stop a team, we just watch. Look at, and we're going to get to the putting people in the coffin, but you look at what's happening in the NHL playoffs, right?
Yep.
What happened to St. Louis is the adage in the game is you'd rather die than let up a goal last minute of the game, especially if that's your responsibility to be out there. I mean, it's life and death, and into winning. And I don't think that in today's day and age, it's that, I don't know, relevant or playoffs. It does. You see what it is, but you look at things that happen in the last minute of a game when teams come back or whatever, it shakes the living fabric of other people who aren't mentally strong enough.
And I'm glad you brought that up, D-Mac, because I feel like in the recent years, as you say, the focus hasn't been on those last couple minutes of the game. I feel like there's been more late period comebacks with the net empty in the playoffs, and the defense is just around the entire league in those last 2 minute spans has gone down.
Talent's up, so I mean, 6-on-5 or whatever. I don't know. You see, but usually the teams that are successful that move on, right, are the teams that you see doing the little things. Guys are playing with broken digits and you because they're diving without reprieve in front of those pucks. It's just it's a commitment.
Let's do this. We'll take the break right now. When we come back, we'll put some people in the coffin. Dr. Pierce will stop by. We'll talk some Aiden Hutchinson stuff because the streets, somebody's lying.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out, are the streets lying? Is Dr. Pierce lying? I don't think it's Dr. Pierce. He's proven that he's not that. So, we got to have the discussion.
We gonna see.
We gonna see. Absolutely. Tell them about Lady Jane's, D-Mac.
Yeah, let's be honest, guys. We like simple stuff. You're a golfer. You like gimmies on the golf course. For sure, uncomplicated things. Now, the most uncomplicated thing, Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in. Before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, walking anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Planet Fitness, the best gym in the gym game, everybody. I'll never be a member at another gym. It will only be Planet Fitness for me. Going on 3 years, almost pushing 4 years as being a member at Planet Fitness. Everything I need is there. Tons of cardio, tons of weights, the plyometrics. I've gotten into stretching as well. There's a stretch zone over there. You can do it all there at Planet Fitness. But the one thing you won't do at Planet Fitness is spend a lot of money. $24.99 a month, the Black Card option. You get use of everything. The hydro massage chairs, all the little add-ons. Hell, they even give you a discount on drinks, everybody. That's what it is. Planet Fitness, the best gym in the gym game. PlanetFitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. Planet Fitness. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule. Of course, Darren McCarty. Real Cream of Wheat in the chat. Is there a rock wall zone? There is not. You don't need a rock wall. KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you chasing the Chase Lounge. Young Justin in the building as well. Don't forget Operation Eggplant, Ermanni and Edwards. Spam their chat with eggplant.
Right. At 2 o'clock, we ride.
2 o'clock. We ride.
Goddamn right, brother.
We ride, everybody. Right. Big D Energy takeover. Hoof-hearted, Neil, please take 5 minutes to look at Spot Track and Puckpedia and focus on the summer of 26 for the Wings. You'll see the plan in 2 minutes. It's so incredibly obvious with 2 minutes of homework. No, Hoof-hearted, we've done that before.
Yeah.
We've gone in, and you can see the lineup. Like, he has – I will give him this. There are no disastrous – there's no Franz Nielsen contracts that he signed.
Which is good.
Which is good. Like, even the ones that have been the worst aren't death sentences. I'm forgetting already. The defenseman Buffalo just traded. The young dude that had the $56 million contract. I'm spacing out on his name.
Not or you're talking about Tage Thompson?
No, the defenseman that they had that everybody wanted here.
Oh, Dylan Cousins is a forward.
Or I'm sorry, Dylan Cousins, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Went to Ottawa.
Yep.
Went to Ottawa, right? Like there are none of those, which that contract hampers your return. It just does. Like if you're moving on from him and he signed that long, like it just does.
And like in the second half of the season, Marco Kasper was a better player than Dylan Cousins right now.
Bingo.
And that's who they wanted for him.
And that's how you win.
And I wouldn't have made that trade either.
Yep.
And that's you are the king of the transaction.
Yeah,
king
I
of the
wanted
trade.
Dylan Cousins, but I wouldn't have traded Kasper for him.
Like that's it. So that's what it is. All right, Mike G, we cutting bait with Tarasenko.
Can't. Nobody wants him. Unless
Probably not.
Let me see here real quick. Just let me get you the.
You don't think they'll outright cut him?
No.
This next year is his last year on the deal.
I thought you might be able to ship him out if you gave someone a pick and it was future considerations and you just wanted to get rid of him as a whole to a team that's contending and can take on his contract. Like me and Spenny talked about him going back to Florida, and Florida might be interested in that if you take a piece of his salary so you can make it work.
If you do buy him out, it's manageable. You get 1.5 hit this year and 1.5 hit the following year. So it's not.
I don't mind that because in 2 years the cap goes up. From this year, it would be around $15 million in the next 2 years. So that's not awful.
Me and Justin talked about that in on Woodward Wings. It was like the best case scenario would be that Tarasenko isn't on this team next year, and that Patrick Kane is in that Tarasenko role where he's on the third line with like whoever at center, whether it be Kopp or somebody like that defensively, and then a rookie. So you can have Kane with.
Is Kane interested in that?
Lombard. I mean,
I'm not coming back.
Because I'm telling you, if I'm Patrick Kane, I'm not interested in that.
Well, you're still playing power play one.
Yeah, why?
Because I want to play with my guys that I play with, or else I'm just going to retire. I've made $100 million.
I know, but he just wants to play, and he didn't start the year with DeBrincat. And there was times where they were switched off from each other. So I don't think it's out of the question that could be split from DeBrincat, but I do think there's validity to that point. I do think he does want to play with DeBrincat.
So that's it. All right, it's time. Rest in peace. On a Tuesday, everybody, you guys know what we do. We go around the room. Who you putting in the sports coffin? Rest in peace. Spencer Raxter, you going to hit your usual leadoff role?
Yeah, I got to think about it. I haven't really thought of one. We'll go rest in peace to rest in peace to the Yankees thinking they're winning the World Series. Sorry.
You, Hector.
Sorry, you're not doing it.
Turn
Hector.
up.
You guys aren't good enough. Your pitching staff isn't good enough. Aaron Judge chokes in the playoffs every year. He is having an insane season.
Of course.
Like, historically great start to a season. It's nuts what he's doing right now, but you know he's going to hit 200 in the playoffs. So I'm going to get it out of the way now. Rest in peace to the Yankees World Series hopes.
Yeah, Hector.
Yeah, Hector.
Take that.
Take that, Hector.
Fucking Hector.
All right. You ready to go? You ready to go around the room, young Justin?
I'm ready.
Who are you putting in the coffin?
I'm putting Jonathan Bergeron in the coffin.
Jeez.
I don't think the Red Wings are going to re-sign him. I think they're going to let him go. I think they have two guys that can fill his role better than what he's doing in Carter Mazur and Amadreas Lombardi. So I'm going to put Johnny Bergerson in the coffin.
Sheesh.
That was more serious, but I agree with it.
That's right.
That's aggressive.
Y'all was big Johnny Burger people.
Yeah, man. What
I was
happened?
never a Johnny
D-Mac,
Burger
what happened
person.
to Johnny Burger?
Damn.
Never took the step up.
Yeah, didn't step it up.
He doesn't play any type of physical hockey as well.
Burgers right now, he'll score you a goal here and then, but he never took the step to consistency. And if you bring in Lombardi right now, he can do what Johnny Burgers is doing right now, but also has the upside to get better.
You got guys. Mazer, it's always a battle about being healthy. You got Nygaard, who's going to be fighting for a spot, who is a physical guy.
Got his first goal last night.
I think he's going to fight for a roster spot at training camp.
Good. I hope so.
I like Nygaard.
He's transitioning very well to the NA right now.
Woodward Sports chat thread.
I heard good things from Luke Wachowski, who played with him over in Sweden.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Said, watch out for this kid.
Kevin Donaldson, rest in peace.
I called you on draft night, D-Mac. I said you're going to love the kid.
I know. He's a real one, and I need a real one here a little bit quicker than later.
That's what him and Mazer, meat and potatoes guys. Playoff forwards.
Going to be huge into that bottom six.
Yep.
Woodward Sports chat, jump into their Kevin Donaldson. Rest in peace, E&E chat.
Yeah.
Damn.
Operation Eggplant.
You damn right.
Get it in, everyone. Nitty gritty. R.I.P. Maz as a Detroit fan.
Oh.
Daryl Slaughter. R.I.P. Kenta Maeda.
Oh,
literally.
yeah. Big R.I.P. for Kenta, man.
Chase. Who are you putting in the coffin? Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Texas Motor Speedway. It's been losing its luster in the NASCAR circuit for a while, and it was an ugly last stage 3 of racing. They had 12 cautions, 73 laps of wrecks, just kind of slowly pacing around the track.
Did you say 73 laps?
Yeah.
How many laps is the race?
I have to double check. It was like 200 and some change, but I mean, like a quarter of the race was just them going 55 miles an hour just behind the pace car. So a little boring, but in the track, it's just like I said, it's been losing some luster. They repaved it not too long ago, and cars were just wrecking all over. There's a couple times the car, like the leader, wrecked in first place and just like was out of the race. So just a little bit of a mess down there in Texas.
Rest in peace, Texas Motor Speedway. KG, who you putting in the coffin?
Nobody did the heavy lifting, so I'll do it. Rest in peace to the NBA writers and the fucking media for this JB Bickerstaff bullshit. I am sick, bro. Like, y'all failed, bro. Yes, Kenny Atkinson took a 40-win team and made them a 60-plus win team, but guess what? That's JB Bickerstaff's sloppy seconds. He built that team. And what the Pistons did this year, 14-44 in a first-round playoff series in which they almost put out the fucking New York Knicks. I'm done. I'm sick of this Detroit bias. It's bullshit. All the AJ Hinch, Dan Campbell, you add JB to that, I just really think it's bullshit. I'm sick about it. K better win all NBA or we fucking riot. He better win most improved or we fucking riot.
He didn't win most improved.
He did?
No, he didn't.
No. Who they give it to?
They gave it to Dyson Daniels.
Get the fuck out of here. If he don't win all NBA, we gonna have a problem, dog.
Darren McCarty, who you putting in the coffin?
Well, I was going to throw those writers and everybody who disrespected Coach.
Sorry, man.
About the lottery.
No. KG. I had 2.
Oh.
So I was hoping somebody took that one. Jordan Binnington, it'll be interesting to see how you bounce back, being after all the stuff with the 4 Nations and winning Game 7, but to lose a series in the last second and then lose in overtime. This will really there you go. This will really solidify. So he's coffin
adjacent.
I have to see if he fell in or got dragged in or whatever. But that's one of the toughest things we're gonna have to go through, and we'll see the resilience. So I think that with everything that he's been through, he can do it. But he's coffin adjacent.
KG, you're not gonna like this. NBA Communications has tweeted out the NBA Basketball Executive of the Year is Sam Presti from Oklahoma City.
Get the fuck out of here.
10 first-place votes, 6 second-place votes, 6 third-place votes.
What did Sam Presti do this year? He brought in...
Exactly. They eating off the fruits of their labor from 6 years ago.
He brought in
in
Caruso.
second place,
That's it. Rob Pelinka.
Kobe Altman from Cleveland.
Get the
6 first-place votes, 8 second-place votes, 4 third-place votes.
They just playing now.
In third place, Trajan Langdon of the Pistons. 6
really
first-place
put the
votes, 5
Cavs
second-place
GM.
votes, 7 third-place votes. Trajan Langdon got the most third-place votes. Third-place votes. So,
what did the Cleveland
third.
GM do to add to that team? Most of the players are the same.
JB Bickerstaff won 2 awards today.
Get the wow.
He won Coach of the Year. I mean, he built the team.
Yeah.
and should be the executive of the year, right? Like, he left the team in good shape.
Yep.
Sam Presti is crazy work. What?
That
All
is
Sam
crazy.
Presti did was get Caruso.
Yeah, they team was already set.
JP, Trajan Langdon brought in a finalist for Coach of the Year and a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year.
Wild, I know.
Neil, these are your people.
What?
I'm blaming you for this.
The media folks?
These are your people, the media.
Real quickly here, we'll wrap this up. Dr. Pierce is here. Rest in peace to the Lions and NFL draft attendance record. They announced that it's going to be in Washington, D.C. next year.
Yeah, it's over.
They're going to be doing it at the mall in Washington, D.C.
It was a nice run.
Yeah.
Nice 2-year run, though.
We did well. Hey, never forget, everybody.
It was 1 million people in downtown. I don't care if they said it was under 1 million. It was over 1 million people downtown.
And there'll be over 1 million at this draft.
Yeah, no, big facts.
You're 2 markets. New York's right there.
Yes.
Philly's right there. Like,
it makes sense. It does.
It does. So, hey.
2
still,
years, man.
Never forget. Dr. Pierce is here. It is a Dr. Pierce Tuesday. Sorry, Doc, we're putting people in the sports coffin. Not a real coffin. But it's a good thing we had a doctor here, though, just in case, I guess. You absolutely will, though. Of course, Dr. Pierce here, courtesy of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, Amon-Ra of Southfield as well. And, Doc, I'm glad you can make it because I thought that we were done with the Hutchinson discussion. We were done. I was told we were done. You liked what you saw. You liked the movement, everything like that. But Spencer told me the streets disagree.
Dove Kleiman put out
with you, people who have your assessment, I guess.
Yeah.
Smitty, I don't know how much you can fill it in.
The vast majority.
I saw it. I saw what
you did see. Okay.
Yeah, Dove Kleiman put out a post on Twitter. We got it in the downloads.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
If you've been listening to me for the last year, I'm always a glass half full.
Right.
Okay. You're talking about everything, including the taps, which I really pushed on. And then it's changing directions to the leg, the injured leg side, is what they're getting all upset about. So he looks great going to the right, and then I think you're going to start showing the one where he's going to the left, and he's just kind of limping along there, and that's okay. Like I said, this is a highlight film. Give the guy a break.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not 100%. He's not ready to play right now at all levels. Okay, so the chat can simmer down. He's ahead of recovery. You're picking on one thing. Yeah, is he going to be a strong influence of Hutchinson of mid-season last year? No, he's still recovering. But what we're talking about, where he's at in his recovery, he's ahead of the game. The guy's working his butt off. So yeah, is he perfect right now? I totally agree with the chat people for the haters. Those are the haters. This guy's coming back. Applaud him for how hard he's working to get to this level.
Brad's burner in the chat. I'm more inclined to side with the doctor when it comes to medical stuff than, quote, the streets. And again, like the streets, that's like NFL, Twitter and stuff like that. It's just, it was weird to me, Doc, to hear that when I always thought that it was overwhelmingly positively viewed, like where he was. I thought you were kind of a microcosm of medical people and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean, but from the medical platform, from where we're at, we're all happy. You're talking about sports medicine guys. To take in the injury, to the recovery, and to what he has to do, we can get real physiologic and scientific now, into the proprioception, to the feedback. Those muscles have to kick in like they do on the healthy side. And you can see, like I've tried to train you guys, look at the good side, look at the 85% of that video. You can't tell the difference. When we start going to the next level, like I said, we're peeling back the onion. We're peeling it back. We're going to start you, like I said, no water, no activity, non-weight bearing, water activity. There's a process going on. You're getting to see the highlights of the process.
Super Bowl Wilson in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Hoof-Hearted says, Lions game 1 is 4 months from tomorrow. Hutch has 4 months to improve. Do you expect him to hit the ground running as much as you can when you haven't played in that time?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we get to watch him. We get to talk to him. We get to see, like, after a workout like that, how much did you swallow? How much were you achy the next morning? How'd the next morning feel? What do we do? What are we doing with our secret sauce stuff? Do we need more? Do we need less? Do we need to just back it down a little bit? Like, McCarty's a great example. He's 100%. We had to back him down. Hutchinson's very similar. I want to push, I want to push, I want to push. So you have to control that push. Like when you see that, yeah, his coordination and his movement is off. That's the excitement of the human body. There's circuits that need to be turned back on. There's a process that needs to be done. I think these guys are going through that process in a great fashion. Guys, he's not ready to play tomorrow. Could he have played in the Super Bowl? Then you're going to fight with me that way? Yeah. Could he have been a force, 100% force? I always said no. Could he have been at 70, 75%, which is better than some of our other players? Maybe, but we didn't have to make that decision. We have the luxury of 4 months right now and teasing the chat and teasing the people and getting into media hyped up information.
D's411 in the chat. Dov Kleeman doesn't know shit about medical stuff, but Dr. Pierce does. So there you go, Doc. You're well received.
Big shout out.
Big shout out.
No, I mean, look. We want everything yesterday. We want everything, and it's just we're the typical, and I hate being the typical. I want to be more advanced here. I want to be more educated that we are understanding of the recovery because we talk about this stuff a little bit more.
D-Mac, how fast did he have that treadmill going? What's the fastest you ever got a treadmill going up to?
20.
I don't think we maxed
20.
23.
They go up to 23.
Yeah, the Woodways do.
Yeah.
Not the recreational ones.
Yeah.
Well,
at Oakland we have the Woodway ones. The things are like the belts are like tank tires.
Like Drapes and those guys, like they used to like fly on those things. Like,
yeah, Drapes is fast.
Like strong and fast. Can get that thing going. Yeah.
23. I got to turn it up.
Powering. Well, think about it. If you're doing 5-minute miles in the marathon, what are those guys running?
Fast.
Yeah, I didn't know how to figure. Like if they're running sub fives, they're plus 20 miles an hour.
James Miller, I had a fractured femur. Granted, it was back in 1985. It took me 6 months before I even put weight on it. Hutch is looking good from the video.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got people that want to be heard. You've got people that want to be, haters, deniers, whatever. I think I'm on Hutch's team. Just like I'm on Tiger Woods' team. I mean, these guys have an internal X factor that's going to get them back. Most players have an X factor, so X factor times 2 for Hutch. Okay, but I'll go against anybody who's saying he's not where he should be and that we should be concerned and we need a new edge player for it. Is he there the first game? We want him there the first game? Yeah. Is it like the utmost to have him there the first game if he's not that 99.9%? I think that's a decision for the medical team and Hutch. Hutch will make that decision.
Someone asked about it, and this is unfair to do to you on the spot.
It wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't, and it won't be the last time. Might not even be the last time today. How come Marcus Davenport can't finish a season? And you don't know that you don't have access to the files. You know what I'm saying, though? And in general, guys that struggle with injuries in the NFL throughout a career.
Yes.
Is it a medical thing? Is it a physical thing? Is it a medical thing based on a medical thing that's based on a medical thing? My suspicion is it would be the latter of the three.
Yeah, I'm the guy that's half glass half full. You're talking about wear and tear of a season. If a guy doesn't condition properly and do the training room, that's what I'm saying, the signs of maturity, right? A young injury. So he should be a little bit more mature how to control his body. But he might have underlying medical issues. Like you may have an underlying inflammatory disease. You may have joints that are, he had an old injury that he can't recover from. Is he mentally pushing through? I can look more into that to give you a better answer. But usually it's the wear and tear of the season. It's does he have an underlying blood, other issues going on that he's not recovering the way he should? Is he respecting his body well enough? All those factors are in. When you start looking at like a Seth Curry and, you're starting to see small little injuries from him. He's working harder. We get to see these guys in the back nine of their career, and someone picked on me for McNeil that I say he's on the back nine of his career at 25. I want to clarify that. Your average lifespan in football is how many years, guys?
4. Under 4.
Okay. Yeah. How many years has he been in the league?
4, right?
Thank you. So
when you break it down with logic, Doc, the people don't want to hear
25 were on the back nine. I'm like, yeah, you're on the back nine.
The Marcus Davenport situation, by the way, there's been a lot of elbows, chest, pectoral strains, triceps, things like that, which I guess the math checks out, right? Being the position when you're on the edge, you're a lot of hand-to-hand combat against very, very strong men. I guess the math checks out, right?
Yeah, but you also look at the major injury, and then these are all the secondary effects to that major injury is typically what starts happening because their mental keeps pushing and their body kind of gives way. Once you have an injury, that's the weak link to the whole system.
He had a Liz Frank issue that cost him a season back in 2019, a couple of toe sprains, lots of shoulders, 4 different shoulder episodes. That's the new terminology in the sports episodes. Like pitchers don't have Tommy John anymore. They have arm episodes. They don't have elbow injuries. They have arm episodes.
They're getting more like hockey, upper body versus lower body.
No, absolutely. Well, Doc, as always, we appreciate you stopping by. As I know, appreciate that you could fit us in real quick. I wanted to talk about it though. I did because it was getting so much traction. I'm like, Doc, either Dov Kleeman's lying to me or Doc's lying to me, and I know it's not Doc.
Yeah, I mean, put it in perspective where we need to be. We're not saying tomorrow he's playing by Sunday.
No, we are. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. He could, but he risks re-injury. He risks not being 100%, and that's not what we want right now. We have the luxury of 4 months and a couple more days after that if we need it.
You got another couple seconds real quick? Nitty-gritty, ask a question.
All right.
Any advice for shoulder pain from a side sleeper?
A side sleeper?
The pillow? Okay.
What do you say?
Medclimb.com is a pillow. It's for shoulder relief. It's a wedge.
Not on Mike.
What do you got, Doc?
We can take that.
Yeah.
Usually it's true. You want to create a pillow in your armpit. Not a big pillow. It has to be what we consider a neutral positioning pillow. So it's not like an over one. So if there's online, there's a lot of stuff for your neck, for your body pillows, shoulder pillows. There is stuff, and there is a purpose for that. If you're creating an impingement while you're sleeping, you're altering your mechanics. So being proper position, what I call a neutral position, is really what you strive for. And if it's still bothering you after 2 weeks, you need to be seeing because you shouldn't be hurting on a daily basis, especially if you're being woken up. Being woken up is a red flag of any injury. If an ache or a pain wakes you up at night, it's a red flag to see somebody.
Mike O in the chat. Mike O is dusting off the clubs for league play today. I'll answer this for Doc. Stretch, Mike O. Stretch. There it is. All right. Shout out to Dr. Pierce, everybody, for stopping by. For DMAC, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, Young Justin, I'm Neil Roll. Thanks for tapping in Big D Energy. Well, see you later.